When I started working out at 14, I honestly had no idea what I was doing. I used to think, just train a lot and you'll get muscular eventually. But as the years went by, I learned more and more about what actually works. It took me 4 years to really figure out what made the difference for me. In this video, I want to share my personal experiences with you. No advice, no guru talk, just what I've learned myself. Things I wish I had known earlier. So let's dive right in. Lesson 1. Nutrition is your power source. At first, I barely paid attention to my nutrition. I'd have the occasional protein shake, but that was about it. I figured training alone would be enough. Then I decided to take a different approach and started bulking intentionally. I increased my protein intake and simply ate more overall. It was a bit intimidating because it meant I had to really pay attention to what I was putting into my body. But that shift made a huge difference. I got stronger, was able to train heavier, and built muscle much faster. On top of that, I had way more energy. From that moment on, I truly felt stronger and fitter. Lesson 2. Form is everything. I used to look at people in the gym lifting super heavy weights and thought, that's how I need to train too. So I went all in, not really paying attention to my form. But I quickly noticed the exercises didn't feel right, and I wasn't seeing much progress. Dropping the weight felt like failure to me, and it was hard. It felt like I was going backwards. But eventually, I decided to lower the weight and focus on my form. By training slower and more controlled, paying attention to my posture, I could actually feel my muscles working properly. That's when I really started making progress. Lesson 3. Train to failure. At first, I always did 10 reps per set, but I wasn't really training to failure. I often stopped too early, so my muscles didn't get the stimulus they needed to grow stronger. When I decided to really train to failure, pushing until I couldn't do another rep, everything changed. I also made sure to improve a little each week by adding an extra rep or increasing the weight. Of course, I made sure my form stayed good the whole time. Because of that, my strength improved much faster, and I really noticed progress in my performance. Lesson 4. Focus on getting stronger, not just appearance. For a long time, I felt like I wasn't making much progress. My body looked almost the same, and that made me feel pretty insecure at times. Then I decided to shift my focus. Instead of just looking at how I looked, I started paying attention to whether I was getting stronger. I began tracking my progress in an app and noticed that every week I was able to lift a little more weight or do one more rep. That became a clear sign that I was improving, even if I didn't see it in the mirror right away. In the short term, you might not notice any visible changes, but by focusing on how much stronger you're getting, you remind yourself that you really are making progress. These are the most important lessons I've learned in my first 4 years of fitness. Do you have similar experiences or insights? Feel free to share them in the comments. I'm curious to hear your story. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you won't miss my next tips and inspiration to get stronger together. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.